Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be testing the Koenigsegg One. So my tuning is max with pro kits of 2020, and that is our tune. So our first race is against two Max Pro 4 GTs and a Pro MP425. Yeah, you can see how bad this car's acceleration is. They all just shot out like rockets. But the 4 GT wrecks, and now we're ahead of a 4 GT and an MP425. Can we stay ahead of them? Let's see. So this car with a tuning kit and nitro goes at about 297 miles per hour. I think at Max Pro it's like able to go 300. It's very close to 300 at least. So here we're ahead of the MP425. The other 4 GT is just completely gone. Where did he go? We'll see literally very shortly from now. And get ready. And there he is, coming down the wrong way. He just gave up on this race. So then he disconnects, and now we're ahead of the MP425. But it's a 2-lap race. We'll be able to hold him off. Here you can see the handling on the 120 is quite sharp. It's very good. And now we're on lap 2. The MP425 hot on our tail. And we go up here, and then he wrecks. And he doesn't catch up, so I skip to the end of the second lap. And you can see we beat a Pro MP425 and Max Pro 4 GT. But we also lost to a triple boosted Max Pro 4 GT. Oh well, I think we did pretty good. Ahead of the Pro MP425 and the 4 GT who gave up. Let's get on to our next race, which is against a Terzo Millennium and another 4 GT and a 1-1 who disconnects. So in theory it is against the 4 GT and Terzo Millennium. Once again, our bad acceleration does put us behind. And this car's drifting radius, it's kind of wide. It's definitely not like it's handling. It's a very wide drifter. Not as wide as like the Camaro or the SLK ST. But here the 4 GT goes down the slower way and then wrecks. So now we're ahead of the 4 GT. Will we be able to hold him off? I don't know yet. Well, I do know because I filmed this. But we have a Terzo Millennial ahead of us and it's 1 lap. Let's see if we can pass him. Probably not though, since we go about the same speed as him, but with worse acceleration, and that's really the main problem with this car. The acceleration is not good enough to keep up with the other cars, and that's how we come behind. So here the Terzo enters the tunnel, and he wrecks on that wall right there, and we don't, so now we're ahead of him, and because our speeds are basically the same, we're able to come around here and get to the finish. So, in this race, we beat a double boosted 4 GT, and when I say double boosted, he had a tuning kit and a nitro starter, and a double boosted Terzo Millennium with the nitro starter and a tuning kit. Let's get on to our next race, which is on Alps, and this one's kind of interesting. It's against an 812 Superfast, a Beast Alpha, 4 GT, Terzo Millennium, MP425, and Veyron, who I knocked down. So we're now in 5th place, because somehow that MP425 messed up accelerating really fast. And ahead of us is those 4 cars that I said. Here, the Terzo Millennium gets knocked down or wrecks. So we're ahead of him. I triple tapped here, and then I tried to get out of it by braking, and I wrecked. So the Terzo is ahead of us, but the MP425 is still behind us. Yeah, this MP425 was not a good driver or something, because we're still ahead of him, and the Veyron is keeping up. So as the Terzo gets farther and further, we just give up. And I'm like, alright, I'm in 5th place. That's fine. But then the Terzo Millennium disconnects right here. So now I'm in 4th place. I'm like, yes. Then I wreck. And then the MP425 hits me. And then he wrecks. And then the Veyron almost catches up. But thankfully I get to my full speed in time. And I get 4th place. Surprisingly, I go up by like 12 in this race. It wasn't that bad of a race because I went up in rating, but we lost to a Beast Alpha, 4 GT, and 812 super fast. Oh well, we still did pretty good. On to our next race, which is probably the worst race of the entire video. Against a Ferrari 812 super fast, the same one as the last race, an Aventador SVJ, and a Tuatara. Here, everything out accelerates us, even an SSC Tuatara. Yeah, this car's acceleration, as you can see, is really bad. So we're starting to catch up to the Tuatara already, because we go faster than him. He does a pretty interesting stunt here, and the SPJ somehow slows down, And now he's neck and neck with the Tuatara, and we're catching up pretty quickly. So here we go faster and go on the faster route. They went that way for Nitro, I went this way to pass them. But I only passed the Tuatara, and it was by barely anything. Here we're now behind the SBJ. I need Nitro to stay at my speed, so I get Nitro. Then this is where the mistake happens. I go way too high on this barrel ramp, and the Tuatara gets closer. So I don't flat spin here because I have enough Nitro, and I think we're gonna do well in third. But then the Tuatara knocks me down, and I'm not able to catch up, so I skip to the end of the second lap. RIP. So here the 8-12 won, and on to our final race against a Sin R1, Renault Sport, and Tri Nemesis. This is a 3-lap race, and it's kind of annoying. But since we've reached the end of the races, it's time to give my final verdict about the Credit King. Yes, I do remember I titled the video that. It is the most expensive credit car in the game. It's also the best credit car in the game, beating out the ME412 and Mercedes-Benz Silver Lightning. However, in multiplayer, it gets killed quite easily due to its slow acceleration. However, if you could drive it quite well and your opponents aren't driving quite well, you'll be able to pull out some decent ones in this car. But because of its acceleration, it's quite hard to. You also have to try not to get knocked down, or you won't be able to catch up, primarily because your acceleration is about the same. But this car has good handling, good speed, nitro efficiency is kind of below average, and bad acceleration. It does have a good Season 9 race though. I used it to farm. So, we come to the end of the final race. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like it, and subscribe for more Asphalt 8 content. Goodbye.